You know, sometimes in life you meet people that are just, well, they're inclined to stick their nose right into the action. Kick the hornet's nest, if you will, which I appreciate. And some are pretty entertaining at it. My next guest is one of those folks. He doesn't care. He does not care who he offends because he's willing to ask tough questions of real people that are often and most often public officials. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? And can you explain to me why you're doing that? Charlie LeDuff is joining me this morning. Charlie, great to have you here. Journalist, writer, media personality, a guy who's out there for the Michigan Enjoyer making these great videos. Charlie, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's the Powerball number?
The Powerball numbers we lost, but somebody in Michigan won $2 million, which, by the way, if you're that person, I'm willing to pal around today and the rest of the day for your $2 million.
I owe the guy at the gas station because he was praying over my ticket. So, you, me, and he, well, I'll go get some chops.
Yeah, $1.7 billion. Well, almost as much as Ilhan Omar made last year in the market. Almost, but not quite. Let's see here. So, Lisa Cook, she is I don't know if she's fired or not fired. She's on the board of governors for the Fed, right? And she is apparently mortgage fraud's a thing now, whether it's Adam Schiff or Tish James over there in New York or Lisa Cook right here in Michigan. Give them the backstory here, Charlie. Here's a woman who's on the Federal Reserve Board, who is one of the people that sets the interest rates for you and I on my credit cards or my used car loan. And apparently she's not playing by the rules.
Who knows? The funny, let me go backwards with this story is I'm not the expert on it. I just knew there was a Michigan angle, so I pursued it. But loosely, in 2021, she got not one, not two, but 3 mortgages. One of the mortgages was for a primary residence. That one's in Michigan. A second is for a principal residence, which is a primary residence. That one's in Atlanta. And the third is for a secondary home in Cambridge, Massachusetts. This is weird because she was a professor. The timeline for this was 2 months, 3 weeks, and 4 days. So she bought 3 expensive homes in 2 months, 3 weeks, and 4 days on a professor's salary. So there's a question there. 2, you can only have 1 primary residence. That's why they call it primary. You get better tax rate. You get a better mortgage rate. You get better insurance rates. When you do rentals, those are risky. You got to put more down. When you have a second home, it's risky. You got to put more down. So that's what she did before she went to the Fed. Then she gets named to the board of directors for the Chicago Fed. And this continues. She's claiming primary residence. Then she gets named to the board of governors about a year after that by Biden. All the way up to this year, she's still claiming this. Now watch, Steve. Here's what I got. It's in Ann Arbor. On April 10th of this year, she or her managing company listed it, certified it as a single-family unit for rent. Okay? Now, in 2025 of this year, she's claimed it 100%, I've circled it, as a principal resident exemption on her taxes, which she also did in Atlanta.
Well, wait. You can't have both. You can't have both.
You can't have both.
Here's what I love about you, Charlie. We got a bit of video here we're going to share with the folks. Because Charlie says, I need to know who lives there. If you've claimed it as your primary residence 100%, and you do get big, right? If you go buy a cabin in northern Michigan, your interest rates are higher, your down payment's bigger, just like you said, Charlie, because it's a higher risk
100%.
maneuver, right? So, but here, roll the tape. Here's Charlie just trying to get to the bottom of it. Entertain me. Go ahead.
Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook has 3 homes and big troubles. She claimed to the banks that she lived at all of them, but real estate records show she listed 2 of them for rent. That's not legal. So Lisa must be living here in Ann Arbor at the 3rd house, right?
The door's dirty. There's a key lockbox right there. There's a white man at the dining room table. It's weird. I don't think she's married.
Hello?
How you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. My name's Charlie. I'm a reporter. This house is in the news. I was wondering if Lisa Cook lives here, or do you rent?
Yeah, we're just renting, so you'll have to.
I'm sorry?
You'll have to talk to me.
Okay, you just living here?
Yeah.
Okay, just renting?
No comment.
I'm sorry?
You have to talk to the owner tomorrow.
Okay, the owner, would you have a contact number? Oh. Oh. We'll have to talk to
There you go, Charlie. There you go. You see a redder, and then the
Wait,
guy,
play.
he wanted nothing to do with
Tell your
you.
producer, play it to the end. There's 15 seconds left. You got to see it to the end. It's pretty funny.
Go.
Okay, the owner.
I love it.
Oh.
What a good crew you have.
Oh, we'll have to talk to the owner. They're just living here. Oh. Governor? Where do you live?
Michigan enjoy. And by the way, this is what you do this all the time. It's not just about her. It's look, you're playing dirty. If you did that or I did that, we're getting jammed up for that. The IRS is going to send us a bill. You know, this is not even a close call, is it?
Look, you know, like my brother lost his house back in the, 2008 when mortgage fraud took down
Sure.
the world financial system. That's why this stuff's in place. The reason I went to that house is, okay, we're hearing a lot of stuff in the media. Is there any evidence that she rented these houses? You can, make it. She's trying to find it out. So let me actually go there and see if there's a fraudulent rental. Now, that's quite probably what you saw there. That's as close as you get to real life proof. That's why I went there. Number two, okay, if you have a house in Cambridge and you have a condo in Atlanta and you have one in Ann Arbor you're not in, and your office is in Washington, D.C., madam, where do you live now? And on your tax filings, did you claim the rental income? You can't do any of this, Steve. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. And why do so many of these things seem to come back to our great state? I mean, that's the thing. You've got endless stories here in Michigan. You don't even have to go very far from your home to find this stuff, Charlie. I mean, it's just it's a gold mine.
There's
every
always
day.
a Michigan angle, Steve. Always
Yeah.
a Michigan angle, man. Oh, let me give you one,
Always.
by the way, before we forget. Do you remember Michigan Supreme Court Justice Diane Hathaway? Do you remember her?
Oh, sure.
Okay, no. Okay, she went to prison. We down here sent her to prison because here's what she did. She used to teach real estate law. She had a home in Florida and two in Grosse Pointe Park. So she put the one in Florida in her stepdaughter's name and one of the Grosse Pointe Park properties in another stepchild's name, and then went to the bank and said, I can't afford this house. I don't have any assets. Take it back on a short sale, which they did, which we caught her, and she went to prison. Now, in that case, I was popping out of her recycle bins, you know what I mean? Catching her in her driveway. So,
Hey, Charlie, you got
I
a
did
minute
this
more?
with-
You got a minute more?
Yeah, I got a minute more.
All right, well,
Sure.
sit tight. We're going to hit a quick break. Back with Charlie LeDuff from the Michigan Enjoyer. It's enjoyer.com, by the way, enjoyer.com. He's talking about a lot of things. Are Great Lakes fish safe to eat? Is Jocelyn Benson even a Lions fan? Talk about a scandal. Back with Charlie LeDuff after this. You wonder, where is the governor right now? Where did she go? Japan? Somewhere. Took like 20 people with her. Charlie LeDuff's still with me. Where'd the governor go? Charlie, didn't she just go on a trip and pack the plane full of her friends and went across the ocean somewhere? I'm not paying attention.
Probably. She can go to hell for all I care, man. Come on.
Yeah.
It's on fumes.
Okay, so when you talk about corruption in Michigan, I go to these mega sites, the MEDC, these Chinese battery plants that are screwing up our environment. How does it make sense to bulldoze, cornfields and green space, actual green space, to put in Chinese solar panels? I don't understand any of this. Everybody's getting kickbacks. We never get a job out of the deal. We get promised, we're going to make 10,000 jobs. We get nothing. Over and over
Right.
again. I mean, it's mind-boggling, isn't it?
Well, look, it's frustrating for me because so many things you got to keep track of, right? And article, report after report, all the paperwork you're doing, only to end up with, told you so. Now, I'm based out of Detroit, so look at this Hudson skyscraper building. We're on year 9. Now we're talking about a redo for the Renaissance Center, and we got to pay for it. I don't think so. It's time for this stuff to end.
It is time for this stuff, Dan. All right, so when I look at your website here, Michigan Enjoyer, it's enjoyer.com, folks, for anybody who wants to look at this. There's so much entertaining stuff on here, it's hard to keep up with. My whole life, I've been told, oh, don't eat that Great Lakes fish. It's bad for you. Look, I've eaten Great Lakes fish my entire life. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. Here's what I know. The way they used to do it, they would take a fish, a whole fish, and drop it face first into the grinder. And then it would come, they would test that. Well, until I start eating fish skin, fish brains, fish kidneys, fish livers, which I don't, I only eat the fillets, then I'm not worried about the toxics, whatever they might be, that end up in the fish's brain and those tissues. Is it safe to eat fish in Michigan, Charlie? Yes or no?
I sure hope so, because I am.
Yeah, me too. That's the thing. I hunt deer here, and I eat fish here, and I'm part of the, I'm part of the ecosystem because I go out there and I kill stuff and I catch stuff, and I think it's fine. But all these people try to scare the hell out of us every day. Why?
There's a lot of money to be made on it, Steve. Well, okay, they'll tell you because we're looking out for you. I'd much rather have the red and the yellow dyes taken out of the food. And
Agreed.
Frankly, I'd like the fluoride to be taken out of the water. Let's just focus. You know what I'm saying? Let's just focus. There's a lot of money in fear. That's all I can tell you.
There's a lot of money in fear. I think, yeah, I heard that. I think they called it COVID. There's a lot of money in fear. Yeah, I mean, good God.
By the way, I'm expecting, hopefully, somebody from the governor's crew's listening, because at the end of the month, all that COVID documentation about your response to the federal government when Trump's DOJ asked you for the nursing home data, it cost me over $3,000. That's coming due, and we're going to find out what you were talking about and what you gave the feds and what you decided not to give the feds. I have not forgotten. We're going to get to the answer about what happened to our old people. Can you imagine it, Steve? Let's just go back now with time behind us and look how silly this was. We're going to shut everything down, shut down the economy, shut down our children's lives in order to keep grandma safe, right? We don't want anybody going to grandma's house, hugging her and killing her with COVID. So I got an idea. Why don't we put sick old people in grandma's house, and that'll be, the greatest medicinal cure to a pandemic ever.
It was insane.
Old people.
Yeah, it was insane. I know people personally who had to wave goodbye to their grandparents through a window because they weren't allowed to go in the room, and these people died alone, basically, with somebody outside.
I couldn't hold my brother's hand while he was dying. I get it. I was there with the old man, married 70 years to his ladies. He built like a fishing hut outside of her window. His name was Frank. Beautiful. So cold outside. He wouldn't let her go. And I have not forgotten. I have not forgotten about Clarence, the Korean War vet, who they trucked him around 8 separate times. He kept relapsing, and they kept taking him nursing home, to hospital, to another nursing home. Well, how many people did he infect? Why did you treat him this way? The guy was drowning on his own fluids, and this is the way he got treated, and I will not let it go. We're going to get that answer.
And so the deadline is the end of the month. What did you say about spending $3,000? What do you mean by that?
The oldest journalism in the book, trick in the book, Steve, which is, I hereby FOIA all the stuff that you were talking about and what you actually gave to the feds. Well, that'll take approximately $3,147.80, and you're not going to pay that, are you? And I go, oh, I'm gonna raise that money. In fact, here's $3,147.90. You can keep the dime. Call somebody who cares. Get me my documents. You're toast.
Yeah, and you got the money. It is one of the oldest tricks in the books. Oh, by the way, it'll cost you $3,000 whatever dollars, and it'll take 10 years to get you the documents. That's the other trick of the book. They just stall, right? So that's coming. Great stuff, Charlie. Good talking to you today. Always appreciate you being here. If you guys want to find out more, it's enjoyer.com. I'll give you the last word, Charlie LeDuff.
Okay, Steve, go to enjoyer.com. Also, No BS News Hour. And let me just tell you what I'm working on for next week. Hey, Jocelyn Benson, how'd you actually get that job? You were the least qualified. Where did you come from, and how did you get that job?
Least qualified.
See you next Tuesday.
Least
qualified. How'd you become dean? How did that happen? Ooh.
There goes Charlie. See, he doesn't care who he pisses off. Charlie, go get him. Go get him, Tiger.
Thanks for having me, brother.
All right.
Bye.
Always good. Charlie LeDuff. Enjoy your and the no BS news hour. He's right about that. There, Jocelyn Benson. Knock, knock. Who's there? Good stuff. We're going to be doing more with Charlie in the future. We'll tell you about that in the days to come. Because just something I can't quite get into quite yet. But I can tell you he's going to be more on the radar and more unleashed than ever. More unleashed and more involved in these conversations than ever. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Remember to support the people that support this program, that make it possible every single day. I appreciate you doing that. When we come back, Brock Palmbush will have sports here on the Steve Gruber Show.